Welcome to HomeFront SitRep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront SitRep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Out on the edge of the battle and back, we've carried the weight and we've walked every track. From desert dust to the fire at home, we've learned how to fight, how to stand alone. But no one tells you what comes after the war, when silence is louder than the guns we bore. That's where we speak, that's where we heal, stories too real for Hollywood reels. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, when warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. It ain't all medals and waving flags. There's pain in the silence and weight in the facts. But we've got a mic and a mission to share, to tell the damn truth, cause somebody's gotta care. We laugh, we cry, we cuss, we pray. We honor the ones who ain't here today. From basic to battle and back to the block. This is our rhythm of round table talk. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, when warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. Still heavy in dreams out of reach, for the lessons the textbooks could never teach. We're sounding off, no filter, no prep. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. So if you've worn the boots or love someone who did, if you swallowed your hurt and kept it all hid, pull up a chair, you're not alone. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, where courage meets scars and raw honesty. This is our anthem, our truth intercept. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. For the ones still standing and those we've lost yet, for every single story we'll never forget. We speak so others won't forget. This is the HomeFront SitRep podcast. Real talk, real facts, real life. HomeFront SitRep podcast, where the mission continues.
Welcome everybody to the Sunday edition of HomeFront SitRep. How are you doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Good, man. Good. Had a great week. Good weekend. Was busy, very busy yesterday. So we had a couple presentations for Mogadishu Mile. We did certificates for those who have stepped up to help. Presented a few of those yesterday, and then for the guys and gals that are in the planning team that went out and found stuff, I gave them their certificates to present to the people that they contacted and received items or goods or services or donations from. And then went over to Texas Roadhouse and had lunch with my buddy Mark, and I got to present a WWE style belt to Texas Roadhouse. They've stepped up the past 5 years to provide a meal for all the competitors and the volunteers and staff that show up. So we give them something special every single year. And then I made a trip down to Central Kentucky for
you made a trip down to
for a few hours.
Shepherdsville.
Yeah, went down to Shepherdsville. For Warrior Rounds Kentucky style. Man, what a great event. How about you? How's your week been?
Man, week is this whole year has flown by. Let me tell you, it has flown by. With Grace starting college, Lo being a senior, all the events that we've had.
What do you mean starting? She's almost done her first semester.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it and it's crazy. So I got to go pick her up on Tuesday. She comes home for Thanksgiving, then she goes back, and then she's got finals, and then I go pick her up for a Christmas break, and then she'll be, second semester, and it's just like this year's just flying by, man. But no, been super super, busy with everything going on. Last night we went to Warrior Rounds Kentucky Style, which I've been, privy to be part of since the beginning, like the conception of Warrior Rounds Kentucky Style. Now, if you don't know what Warrior Rounds is, Warrior Rounds pairs veterans and not just veterans, but cancer survivors, first responders, community warriors is basically what they do. If you're a cancer survivor, fireman, police officer, EMT, veteran, um, they pair you with singer songwriters and they write a song about your life. And it's super friggin' powerful, man. And JT Cooper, who is a Battle of Mogadishu Army veteran, is the founder. He along with a few other musicians decided to start Warrior Rounds in Nashville to give back to the community. And we have been blessed here in Kentucky uh, this is the first time it's ever been done outside of Nashville. And if you want my honest opinion, I think it was a success um, from, being the first time doing it. We
Well,
had
and
8
the traffic,
veterans or
right?
8.
So,
Yeah. And the traffic. Oh,
there
yeah.
was
We
construction
had
slash
8.
an accident, and it probably hindered people coming in from 65 a little bit. But I would say for the very first time having it, and
Yeah.
not being a whole lot of like true media behind it, I think it was a great event and had a great crowd last night.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we had 8 community heroes. I don't because there we had fire department. I mean, we had police officers, we had army veterans, we had a cancer survivor, we had a
Our
Gold Star
mom.
mother there as well. I forgot to mention that they do Gold Star families as well. And we did 8 singer-songwriters, 8 community heroes, and man, I will tell you the songs, if you I don't there was not many dry eyes unless you were Gunny and myself. We didn't really, you know, ball up too much. Um, I guess because we lived it, I guess, kinda sorta some of it,
Yeah, I mean,
but,
and we talked about
my
it.
wife was boohooing the whole time.
Yeah, we talked about it with our last guest about, a piece of you stays, you know, in country or whatever, and haven't experienced as much loss that we have early on in our Marine Corps careers during training and losing guys that we served with, and then later on, through combat operations and the epidemic that's going on within the veteran community and has been going on for years. It's one of those things that I don't know if you just become hardened to it, or I'm not going to say you become heartless because you still care, but sometimes
Yeah.
words don't move you as much as others, right? So it's just one of those things. And each song fit each person, I think, perfectly, from the interview that they showed up on the big screen to the words that were shared by the singer songwriter to the song that was shared by the singer songwriter.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had a close connection with one of the participants, Dr. Amy. They asked me for a female veteran, and she came to mind, and I got in touch with her and said, "Hey, would you like to be part of this?" And she's an Army veteran, and her life story, man, just and so she was there, and I got to hear her story from the musical side of it. And it's just like holy cow, so really great event. I can't wait for next year, and I'm hoping it grows, and I'm and it's not about, and then, the media wasn't there. And the good thing about that though is it it wasn't about the media. It was about the participants. That's what it
Yeah.
was about. Because I know Samuel Deeds go Bucks from Josh
Probably
Brown.
not. Go blue. That's Micah's godfather. And I
Oh,
lived with him and his wife for a few years, and very, very great friend. And he gives me hell every time around this year. And his birthday is coming up too. So I do think that this year his suck eyes are gonna give him a pretty good birthday gift, because you know even though they're playing at the big house, Michigan's not the Michigan of old. But Ohio State has the fourth weakest schedule in all of college football, so there's that too.
right, right. But I will tell you though, Michigan's playing a little tough, and it's a rivalry game too. So everybody brings their A game during
Yeah,
rivalry
and
games. So
everything this week,
uh,
coming week, it's all those big rivalries that have happened through sports, except for Army Navy.
yeah,
That's reserved for the 13th here in a couple weeks. But yeah,
yeah.
but he's
You got
still in.
UA,
Josh is
U of
still in.
L.
Yep, Josh is still in.
Oh man,
He's the maintenance chief for 2nd Marine Division down there at Cherry Point. So he controls Cherry Point, Beaufort, New River, and yeah. So we went down to
keeping
visit
those
him.
Marines out of trouble down there.
He's probably getting in trouble with them. You know how those master
man.
guns are.
Oh yeah, we know how they are, especially swinging with the wing. They always getting in trouble out there. But no, it was a great event. It was a great event last night. Uh,
Well, your wife thought
I don't know
so,
if my comments are coming through
and
over here on this side.
then she kept hitting
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and I got abused by Miss Julie last night quite a bit,
I wonder why.
because I guess a lot of my personality came out in this area, and she's like,
What's coming?
"Fix your face." I was like, "Oh."
Fix your face.
Because when you're there as the media person, you have to be approachable, you have to be presentable, you have to be professional, and you have to kind of wear that smile on your face. And I forget about that sometimes when you show up in that media capacity, right? So sometimes the gunny shows up, and I got the wrinkles here, and my face and my lips starts twitching, and I need that constant reminder. And your wife gave me that last night.
Yeah, she does that quite a bit. She's really, really good at that. I think I'm lagging just a little. Hold on here. Yeah, I think I'm lagging just a tad, Gunny. I thought restarting the computer
Yeah, by a
would
little
fix
bit
it,
you are.
but I think
Just
it's
a little
fixed
bit.
now. I had, but no, she's the wife is very good about uh making me fix my face, and that's and then when you decided to sit in between us last night, I was like, sweet, she's gonna get him, not me. So
Oh, she
that
did
was
too. She did
yeah,
quite a
oh
bit.
yeah.
And then there were some times that she had to turn away, because if she stayed looking at me, she knew she was going to laugh and laugh out loud. And we weren't in that setting to be, comedians last night, and to have,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that laugh out loud moment. But, things
Well,
happen,
the
and
little
my,
girl that kept walking,
in front of
I
the
mean,
camera.
yeah, she noticed the camera. She's like, oh, they're videoing. And I saw it. I think I saw it first. I was like, because I was watching the camera screen, and I saw her look at it and wave. I was like, oh God, here we go. And then she just kept back and forth in front of the camera. It's like do 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 do. And then all of a sudden I hear you sit down.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah, I was like, oh hell, here we go, here we go. But no, man, it was awesome. Great event. I can't wait to go back to the video and listen to the commentary and see if it picked up.
I hope not.
I hope not. But you did get to meet some of the Moog Mile guys from.
Yes. You mentioned JT was with the Battle Mogadishu. He's also a Purple Heart recipient. And then James, who helped organize the event as well last night, was at Mogadishu. And then I think there were 4 or 5 others that were in the Battle Mogadishu that were there. And they were all 10th Mountain guys. They all served together. And I ended up talking to one of the guys, and because he had a Moog Mile shirt on, and I introduced myself and told him what we do with Mogadishu Mile, Kentucky, and he's a CrossFitter. He's going to put a team together, and he's going to come run. I said, "Do you want to be in the elite, category and go against the Rangers, or you want to go down to the novice?" He goes, "No, no, no. It'll be a team of 55 or older, and we're going to go out there and try to compete with the Rangers." I'm like, "Game on. We got you."
Roger that. Hell
And
yeah.
then we're having a I guess a fundraiser dinner to help raise some funds for us to continue to do the Mogadishu Mile, and help offset some of those costs that we incur during the event. We don't incur anything throughout the year. It's just during the weeks leading up to the event, and then some of the thank you gifts that we do after. So he is going to be our guest speaker as well.
Hell yeah.
So it's really cool that we're going to have somebody that was at the Battle of Mogadishu, and for those of you that don't know, 10th Mountain was that quick reaction force that went in to try to get the guys and bring them back out. And that battle that happened in October 3rd and 4th. But yeah, man, it's really cool just to sit there and talk to some of those guys and listen to some of their stories about Mogadishu, the firsthand accounts that you don't get, and he asked me last night, why Mogadishu? Why? I'm like, honestly, you guys are being forgotten. I said, everything that happened after Desert Storm and before, 9/11 is kind of being forgotten. The Kosovo, the Mogadishu, some of the other little skirmishes that were in there too. It's just, and it's been 30 years since Mogadishu, or 30 plus years since Mogadishu. And, one of the greatest things is being forgotten, right? And we want to make sure that those guys that sacrificed everything are not forgotten. And then the guys that were there on the ground aren't forgotten either.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that when you probably said that is what was made him like, yeah, I agree. Yeah. And made him decide, hey, let's put a team together. And I can only fathom the team that he's going to put together to come out to the event next year.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hope they come out there, and I hope they smoke the Rangers. That would be so freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the Rangers are usually the top team, or they're always within the top 3.
Yeah.
The past 2 or 3 years, we have had an ROTC team beat the Rangers time. And, this year I made a comment. You were up there. I'm like, you guys want to beat the Rangers? Do it in boots and utes. Don't show up here in PT gear. Meet them at their level. Come out here in boots and utes and run it. And I mean, Moorhead to put a team of studs together a few years ago. Western Kentucky University, the past 2 years, have put multiple teams, and I say studs, females too, that are coming out here and just crushing the course. And this year, we got a lot of feedback because we did switch venues for the first time in 5 years. We switched venues, and everybody was very positive of our venue. And they're like, man, that's the most rigorous course that we've run to date. And when I was telling, those guys that were in Mogadishu about this, they're like, you mean it's not just a 5K? I'm like, no, dude,
No.
we're going to put you through some stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're on it. And then a couple of the other guys are like, I want to do it too. So they may come in, they may put together 2 teams of, guys from 10th Mountain. And,
hell yeah.
I'm going to spill the beans early here. I did meet with Todd down at JMAT, and we are in early discussions about next year's Mogadishu Mile bottle. And I took everything down in the basement, so I don't have anything in my room anymore. But, they've done a bottle for us every year, and we've brought Purple Heart recipients, Gold Star families in. We brought Mike Durant and some of the other Night Stalkers in this year to do this year's bottle. And after talking with Bill, I'm going to bring in some of those guys that are still local, to help with this year's blend,
Heck yeah,
along
man. That'd
with
be
some of the staff from the Mogadishu Mouth, just so they have a more vested interest of what we're doing, right? And they understand why we're doing this. But the bottle design is going to be red, white, and blue to help commemorate the 10th Mountain guys.
heck yeah.
So,
See,
a couple of years ago, I did black with the red drizzle with the kind of little, tambourine. And then this past year, the Night Stalkers picked their colors, the black, the blue, and the yellowish/gold mustard, if you will. And
right.
then, these guys, the 10th Mountain's colors are blue, right? Blue shield with red cross swords and a white outline. So we're going to find a way to do some of that stuff and, get these guys involved. And, we'll have some good guests for him as our guest speaker. I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, it's going to be a good time. And I'm looking forward to it, man. And, James said he wanted to come up and bring his trike and the trailer. And I'm like, bring it,
Bring it. Yeah.
we'll put you up somewhere.
I can't wait to see how the course is going to be set up this year, or the
It's going to be
upcoming
the same.
year.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
going to
it's
run
going to
it.
be the same.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to run it the same. The only thing that's going to be different is the staging of the coaches.
Okay.
That will be the only thing different. I think running everything the way we ran it this year, everybody can see the entire course. You can see where you can pick up and lose time. You can watch your competitors, right? And for us as the staff, especially Josh, more Josh than anybody else, he can see how the flow is going because Josh is the course director, right? And
Right.
he's the one that's making sure everything's running smoothly and the way it should run. And we have those 5 stations, and only I guess three of the 5 stations have actual items at it that you have to either jump up on or flip or slam or whatever.
Right.
Everything else is all body weight, right? It's push-ups, it's burpees. And you can put 10 teams doing push-ups and burpees all day
Yeah.
because you're not having to have something physical to grab a hold of. We're only limited by those items that we have. And, I went out this year and I built 2 jump boxes. A buddy of mine, Jeremy, up here in Northern Kentucky, who's been doing a lot with Kentucky Wounded Heroes, and myself went out and bought. Guy down the street donated 6 tractor trailer tires for us to have to flip. And then we have the packs in the ammo can. So we have everything we need. And the course is almost a mile run portion, and then you've got 40, 80, I don't know, probably another half mile in the bodyweight stations.
Yeah.
So it is, and when you got guys that are doing this on a regular basis, like the Rangers and the ROTC kids that are just dragging butt, you got a good course.
Oh yeah.
So we may, do something where we put a water sprinkler out there if it's hot again, and let them run through the friggin' water sprinkler or something like that, just to cool them off a little bit, right? Just stick it out on the course, but we shall see. We shall see.
It'd get muddy and make it even harder. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
But yeah, no, I mean, our goal is to eventually get to 100 teams. We don't want to do that right away, right? We had
No.
48 this year. So to double what we had this year, man, it's going to be an all-day event. But, we'll grow until we outgrow the church, and then we'll move to a bigger venue that can house everybody, and we'll have to get more supplies and stuff to be able to run, 100 teams. So that's 400 people on, that's taking the course.
Right.
Or maybe we do a 2-day event where it's split, but then, then you're looking at logistics of housing and stuff like that. We don't want to inconvenience people too much. I mean, Western Kentucky comes all the way over from there the morning of. Greenup
Right.
County comes all the way over from Greenup County the morning of. So it's a lot, man. And to have the cadre and the guys and gals to come over that far and participate and just tackle the course.
Right.
I mean, one of the guys on staff, he does ultras and tough mudders, and he's getting, I think it's this weekend or next weekend, he's doing 100-miler,
Ooh.
and so, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Rich Lamonica, if you're still in here, what's up, brother? Yeah, I think once you outgrow that location, which it's a great location, and getting up to 100 plus teams, you definitely will have to find another location. Um, and I was thinking there's a couple of nonprofits that have um, some land, like Active Heroes got 160 acres. Of course, that's out here in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, so it's central Kentucky.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you had to go, and then you got Camp Brown Bear, which I think is up northern Kentucky somewhere. He's got, I forget how many acres he's got there. And plus he has cabins on site at Camp Brown Bear. So if we had to do a 2-day event, they could stay in the cabins and stuff like that. So that's logistical wise, that's something that, and of course, Active Heroes has the 3 big cabins that they have, plus the big pavilion, plus the office space. So there's definitely things that we could figure out to make that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's
if you needed to later on.
Yeah, I mean, we're right there in Georgetown, so Scott County Fairgrounds are right there too. If we needed to expand that big, also you have Great Crossings Middle School and High School that have soccer field, track, and all that stuff. You have Scott County High School, and I mean, there's so many other schools around that have stuff that we can do. Even Georgetown, College right there has stuff that we can do that we could use. It's just we haven't approached them with that yet because we haven't outgrown our space. And when we look like we're going to do that, then we'll have those conversations with the city of Georgetown, Scott County, the mayor, and everybody. We'll get everybody involved, and and like I said, we've been doing this for 5 years, and it has continually grown every year. And, maybe like we grew 10 teams from last year to this year, maybe another 10 to 12 teams for this year. Coming 2026. And then when Troy returns back from his assignment, we can go to 100 right away because then he's in charge.
Yeah. yeah, he's not watching right now. So, but hey,
he's on a 6-hour difference. So I'd hope he's not watching. If he is, he needs to go to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so there's some other veteran events that are coming up. I had them at the tip of my head just a minute ago, but I can't remember. But let's talk about the end of the year for you and I. December, is right around the corner. We're going to have the last 2 weeks of December. Gunny and I, we're going to take our break to spend with our loved ones.
21, 22, 27, 28. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's the last 2. 21st, 22nd, 28th, 29th. Yeah, so that's going to be our, we'll have recorded episodes, those. But the reason we do that is so we can have time with our loved ones, uninterrupted time, and, no podcasts. I might answer an email every now and then for guests that are reaching out or something of that nature, getting ready for January time frame. But for the most part, it's going to be family time because I know December, I'm leaving here the 27th, and I'll be in Florida the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, and all the way up to January 2.
Which is
Friday.
The day before we come back.
We come back on the 4th.
We come back.
Yeah, so I'll probably be back here on the 3rd. But and then I think actually no, I think we're going to come back. Our first episode's the 5th. I think we decided the 5th was going to be our first episode. So Monday the 5th of January will be our first episode back. Uh,
Yeah,
but
and we're taking off. You know, we were going to go to Hawaii, but then we had some unexpected things here happen to the house, and ended up having to cancel that trip. So we're going to go down to my wife's uncle's condo down in Orange Beach, and just spend some family time down there for a week or so. And on the way down, I'm
when
going
are
to
you
play.
going?
We are going.
Because
It
we're going to be
depends.
in we're going to
If
be in Orange Beach then too.
Well, we're not
Uh,
gonna we're getting home the 24th. We're coming home
oh,
Christmas
okay,
Eve. So we're going
okay,
down
okay.
prior to, but
I
it
got
depends. If Miles doesn't have to take a final on the 19th, we'll leave the morning of the 19th.
I got
If he has to take a final, we'll leave. We'll pick him up from school, and then we'll drive. We'll get south of Nashville, get a hotel for the night. I'll make that 5-hour drive, whatever it is, just to get south of Nashville.
yeah,
Right, and then we'll get up, the morning of the 20th, and finish the drive. But one of the guys from Mogadishu is buried in Mobile, and we're gonna reroute ourselves to go that way, so I can place a Mogadishu mile coin on his marker, and then after that, we'll only have one guy left, um, of the 19 that
mm,
are, well, 18 that are interned somewhere. But yeah.
yeah. Heck yeah, no, yeah. I once you finish that list, placing those markers like you want on each one of the 19, I think that'd be phenomenal for you guys.
Yeah.
That you were able to accomplish that, to
Well, and,
remember,
and we didn't even when I designed the coin and had them struck, and initially it was just to give to the finishers, right? And then we
yeah,
had some left over. It might have been the first year that we did the coins. We had some left over, and Troy says to me, he goes, "Hey, you want to take a trip to Western Kentucky with me? Um, they're one of the guys from Mogadishu's buried over there." I'm like, "Absolutely." And we get over there, and um, I put a penny down to pay my respects, and cleaned off the headstone because it was covered with leaves and everything. And then Troy pulls one of those coins out of his pocket and lays it on the marker. I'm like, "What? Why don't we do this for everybody?"
yeah,
So then, a lot of research, researching 19 guys, and then we couldn't find one of them. And um, last year we had um, Jim Yacone and Dan Gelata and Mike Durant come in, and then a couple of the widows came in. So Sherry Briley and Miss Frank came in, and it's Frank. She has his remains at home, so he's not
mm,
interned anywhere. So I was able to present a coin to her personally, but then we went down this past May for the Night Stalker Memorial Week, in their memorial event, and we placed a coin uh, at the Night Stalker Memorial right there within
oh
the compound.
man, that's
So
awesome,
yeah, so everybody that sees that's part of the 160th. Obviously the Battle of Mogadishu is pretty rich there, right? And
right?
Charlie Company had a huge part in that. Um, so it's just it's very meaningful for us to do this and to let the families know, if the families are still around, right, that their loved ones not forgotten. There's people out there that are still talking about their loved ones and still educating people about the Battle of Mogadishu and their loved ones and the sacrifice that were made.
Yeah. So a big event that's coming up December 10th. It is the, let's see, do I have it still on here? Let's see. Uh, where did I put it at? So it's in DC. Uh, here we go.
Yeah, I'll be in Vegas. I'm gonna miss it.
I know. So it's the Manhattan's Martinis and Mistletoe, the ninth annual Veterans Award Gala. Um, this event is hosted by the American Freedom Fund, which is Don Bramer and his group. Don is an advisor role now. Liv Stecker is the current president and CEO of American Freedom Fund. Like I said, this is the ninth annual. They're doing it at the historic Willard Hotel in Washington, D.C. I think there's still single tickets available for this event. But HomeFront SitRep has been nominated for Veteran Podcast Award of the Year, Best Veteran Podcast of the Year award. So hopefully, being nominated just in itself is phenomenal. But to win this award would be that's phenomenal. To win this award would be friggin' amazing as well. Just so that I know and Gunny knows that the work that we do to honor our brothers and sisters out there, we're doing something right. And just to be nominated tells me, hey, you guys are doing something the right way.
For sure.
And it's amazing. And Don Bramer, if you've met Don, DB is what I call him. That's what his friends call him, DB. And he is one of the most genuine humans out there. And the way they set up the American Freedom Fund is every 2 years, if you're the CEO president, 2 years later you have to be another position on the board. You can't continue that. And you cycle all the way through. Like Don's been every position within the organization. That's why he's an advisor now. And it's just it's an amazing organization. What's up, Brat Man?
That's the only way that you can truly get fresh ideas, right?
Yeah.
And implement them, right? You can get fresh ideas from people all day, every day. But if you have the same group of people up there running the show that have one certain way of doing things, some of those ideas may never get implemented. But as you do a rotation, some of that stuff will get implemented, and for better or worse, right? I mean, some of the things might be great change. Some of it might be like, yeah, we need to not do that again. Let's change that now, type deal. But it's also always a learning experience, and
it also stops people from losing focus. Because if you stay the president and CEO for 10 years and you go from a small nonprofit now to a medium-sized to large nonprofit, and you have all this funding coming in, not always, but a lot of times you lose focus of why you started what you started. So if you bring in that rotation, then you never lose focus, and that's what I love about it. So I think it's just amazing. And unfortunately, I'm not able to make it to DC this year. Gunny's not able to make it. I've already reached out to Don Bramer and told him that I was unable to make it. So we won't know if we won or not until we get a call or text and say, "Hey, you won." But I think I'm gonna put together a little speech just in case. I'm gonna ask Don if it's and send it just in case we do one or we do win it. Just so they have something to say, hey, sorry, unfortunately, but thank you to everybody there that, voted for HomeFront SitRep. And you can go to AmericanFreedomFund.org/M3 and you can vote. I think you can vote on there. You can also nominate again as well. But that's coming up December 10th. So I don't know when nominations close and stuff like that. But I know Rich LaMonica is also nominated as well. So I'm super excited for him. Of course, I nominated Misfit Nation and Triple Threat Vets. So they also got nominated. But I don't know how many people are there in that category. So we'll see. But like I said, just to be,
if you go in and there's no vote, but they still have nominations, you may have to get a hold of Willis because it does ask for an address, a phone number, an email, and stuff like that. To fill in that portion. So I'm sure nominations count just as much as votes do too.
I think so too. So yeah, if you need to get a hold of me, just shoot me a message, whether it's on Facebook, shoot me an email at homefrontsitrep@gmail.com, and I can shoot all that information to you via that way. So yeah, definitely. If his nomination is still open, so and then what else? I know there's some other Operation Veteran.
Reese Across America
Yeah,
on
yeah,
December 13th at all your national and state level cemeteries. Some of them require you to register to go lay a wreath. So look at your national cemetery near you and see if they require that or not. If not, just show up the morning of and help lay wreaths at the veteran headstones and markers, and make sure you say their name out loud, because people do die twice, and the first time is when their last breath is taken, and the second time is when their name is spoken for the last time.
yeah,
So that's part of the Reese Cross America mission, is that you say that name out loud.
yeah. And I love that. We talked about it numerous times here. If you remember their names and you say their name out loud, their memory's never forgotten. And there's veterans out there that didn't that paid the ultimate sacrifice and they have no family. And like Gunny said, they died twice. When the last time their name is spoken and nobody else speaks their name ever again, uh, to me that's terrible. It's like we went to that event last night, and they had the global war on terrorism wall, the GWAT wall, the
Dude,
remembrance
that's
wall,
something else, man. They had what was the one that they had last year in Shepherdsville?
the Vietnam traveling wall with the
So
Cost of
they
Freedom
had that,
tribute,
the Cost
the
of
Cost
Freedom
of
tribute,
Freedom tribute. Yeah,
right? That has all the guys and gals from um, that were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
yep,
This
yep.
one, one continuous piece, you know, easily over 6 feet tall. What would you say? Maybe 40 feet long, easily.
Easily. Yeah, I think it was longer than that. I think it was like 9 or 10 panels.
Yeah.
And it was a sight to behold. And as Gunny and I were out there looking at the wall, just going through and looking at the names and saying the names, in my head, I was like, man. And then Gunny's like, man, I got 27 guys, 27
27.
guys on
Yeah.
27 guys on that wall that
Yeah.
either he recruited or he served with
Yeah.
that are on that
25
wall.
guys, 25 guys that I served with in 3-8 that were killed 05 and 06. And then Rick Pummel, I served with on recruiting duty, and I was already out of country, but his unit replaced my unit in 05. And there's a photo of me on my Facebook somewhere. I'm standing in the middle of the street, got an AT-4 strapped across my back, and I within 20, 30 yards of that position is where Rick was killed.
Yeah.
And then TJ Dudley, I served with in VMMT 204 after I moved to the Osprey. And I want to say he was killed in 2011, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it was 2011.
But, and then we were looking at it because they have the names of the fallen from the towers, the names of the fallen from, the planes, the Pentagon,
Beirut.
and then the fallen first responders, right? And as I'm looking at that, and one of the guys I served with directly, he was one of my Marines. That I saw his dad's name, and so I took a picture. I didn't send it to him yet. I'll do that tomorrow. I got real busy today, which is not an excuse, but anytime I see his dad's name on some type of tribute, I send it to him and be like, "Hey, I just saw your dad's name here." Just to let him know that there's more things out there than just what's right at ground zero for them. And then another guy that I served with was one of our martial arts instructors, one of our green belt instructors. His dad was a firefighter in New York as well and was killed on 9/11. And I've lost contact with Chris, but I always look for his dad's name. Anytime I'm either in New York or I see a 9/11 memorial that has the names of the fallen, and
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's moving, man. It's pretty touching, especially when you're looking at the names, and this one was a little different because it was by year, but it was alphabetical order. So for me, it was easier to find my guys' names because I remember their last names, and I'd be like, okay, Ball, McIntosh. I go down the list, right? Procopio, I can go down the list. Whereas some of the other ones, it's by year, but then by date of death. So then you got to, try to remember
What
when
year?
they pass. Well, what month they pass. So and it's
Yeah.
chronologically by their month. So but for me, once I find one, I can pretty much find the rest because it's over that 7-month time period for 2005. And then
Right.
same thing with 2006, it's over that 7-month time period. So once I can find one, I can find the rest. But I mean, there are a lot. I mean, there are a lot of the 9/11 or GWAP memorials or Middle East memorials. I mean, there's a one in, I don't know if they pronounce it Versailles or Versailles. So
What
don't
up
come
here?
at
It's
me.
for sales.
No, no,
Oh,
in
it's
Illinois,
Versailles. Oh, Illinois. Oh, okay.
and the wall was built by the motorcycle riders of Illinois. And it's along a river and big black granite panels, huge. And it's anybody that was killed in Middle Eastern conflicts are on
Hmm.
this thing. And they've got a kiosk out there that's run by solar power. You can go up there and type in a name and it tells you what panel and what line that name's on.
Oh,
And then they
dang.
have etching paper and pencils that you can go out there and etch, the names on. And it's pretty moving. And I've not been up there since, it's probably been 2013, 2014 since I've been up there. So I'm sure they've expanded more.
Yeah.
And then to see that one that they had, last year down in Shepherdsville, and then this one in Shepherdsville, like, last night. And then there's one that the guy has, it looks like an American flag, but it's made up of dog tags.
Ooh.
And it's got every person's name on a dog tag.
Ooh.
That makes up
That
an
one
American
would be
flag.
that one would be really rough.
Yeah. And then there's a guy out of Georgia. I can't remember his last name. First name Sam, easy to remember. But he has a Gold Star tribute, and it's a wall. It's a put together, but it has gold stars on it with the name. I think it's the name, the rank, the name, branch of service, and I think date of death. If I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I think it's Sam Nicola, Nicola, I think is his name. But it's a Gold Star tribute that he brings around,
Hmm.
and it's got the names of the fallen, and he was continuously updating that,
Yeah.
as the global war on terror was going on, and that's something that's going to continue, right? Because the global war on terror is not going to stop. The battles in Iraq and Afghanistan, may be officially over, but the global war on terror is going to continuously go on.
Oh, that's going to continue on to the end of time.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, unfortunately, there's an endless supply of terrorists out there.
Well, yeah, extremists.
Extremists that dislike America, dislike non-conformist to their ideology. Whether it's Muslim, Palestine, whatever.
We have it
Gaza,
here.
Hamas.
We have it
Yeah,
here.
we have them here too.
Within our own culture, so it's just because you don't believe somebody else's beliefs doesn't mean you can't be friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look at me and Josh, right? I'm a Michigan fan, have been damn near my whole life. That dude he's got the block O tattooed on his leg. The only difference is if Michigan wins the game, he'll shut his damn phone off. Mine stays on. I can take it. But there's so many people, and I understand why he does it, because there's so many people that aren't a fan of either team that just razz him to razz him.
Yeah.
If you've got no skin in the game whatsoever, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
I get it. But
see, I'm not a Michigan fan or an Ohio State fan, but I can appreciate good football.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm a U of L fan. Right now, we're on a downward trot, and I will be the first to say that. Yeah, we're on a downward spiral, like we're spiraling out of control. but my wife is a UK fan. That's our biggest rival, and that's coming up this
Yeah.
week. This
So you're
weekend
gonna
on
be sleeping
Saturday.
down in the dungeon, and she's gonna have the comfy bed. That's what's
Well,
gonna happen
we
on
can't even
Saturday.
watch. We can't even watch the game in the same room. Like she goes in her room or our room, and I sit in the living room. Or if we're at friend's house, where one's upstairs, one's downstairs, because we got to have it on two different TVs. But it's still the simple fact that once the game's over, there's a little bit of nagging here and there, but it's for the most part, it's back to, hey, I love you. So I
Well,
just got a
so
text message.
April's born and raised here in Northern Kentucky, and is a Bengals fan. Has been a Bengals fan. She's not a bandwagon fan. She is a fan, right? I mean, she's not
Yeah,
over the top with it. But who'd they play today? The New
your
England
team.
Patriots,
Yeah, your
right?
team.
So
Yeah.
she left before the game was over.
Oh dang!
She's got home.
Did
Shit.
Cincinnati win?
They lost. They
Oh,
lost.
okay.
It was close. It was close. There was a call at the end that in real time looked like it could have been pass interference.
Oh,
When they
okay.
slowed it down, there was just a hand on the back with no grab and no turn. So
Oh,
it could
okay.
have gone either way. And the refs, whether it was a no call or what, the refs did not make a pass interference call. And it was like at the 12, I think. So it was close to the
Yeah.
end zone. And I think they lost by 3. So I mean, Cincinnati's defense turned on this game, unlike they had in the past few. And
Yeah.
they did all right last weekend too, but they're losing close games. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things, man. I like good hard nosed football, and I'm glad the Big Ten's back to being the Big Ten. That's
Yeah.
all I can say there.
Yeah. I love watching close football games. I hate watching blowouts. Like the U of L game versus SMU, I literally had to turn the TV off because I was so like, and it was not because they were losing. It was just because it was a blowout. I mean, it was just, and I'm just like, I can't watch it. I just had to. Of course, I was deep cleaning the house too. It was our deep cleaning day, and so Dallas just rallied to win. Holy cow! Okay,
Really?
um, yeah, Dallas. It says Dallas 21-point rally to win.
Wow.
Dallas rallies from 21 down. Cowboys mount huge comeback to beat Eagles 24-21.
Man.
Holy cow.
Well, Micah just poked his face in here too, and he didn't say anything about it. He's running.
Yeah.
We had dinner. We had a meal that we haven't had in a very long time. It's one of those meals in a box and instant potatoes and chicken
Yeah.
gravy, biscuits and stuff, and it was all right. But for whatever reason, and I don't know why, I am craving. Maybe I'm pregnant, but I'm craving a freaking chicken quesadilla from Taco Bell.
Ooh.
So
With
he's running.
jalapeno sauce or without?
I do the fire. If I go
Okay.
anything over the fire,
I mean,
it's not.
so it has the jalapeno sauce inside of it. So it's got cheese in there.
What you talking about,
Yeah.
Willis?
Yeah. Yeah.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about? So I just got a text message from a veteran up north. He goes to EKU. It says veterans telling another veteran to unalive himself while other veterans sit around and laugh. And then he sent me a video of it. I haven't had a chance to watch the video because I just got it.
Dude,
This
shit needs to stop.
yes, and that's what it needs to stop. Regardless if you like the veteran or not, don't tell a veteran to unalive themselves. That just irks me, and I'm going to watch the video. And right now I see 3 or 4 people that I know very well off of TikTok, because this is where the video came from. So if you're on TikTok right now and you're watching, I'm going to watch this video in a minute. I'm not very happy about it at the present moment in time. Sorry, TikTok's trying to cut me out. So I'm gonna watch this video here in a minute, and then I'm gonna make my 2 cents known on this issue. whether you're a combat veteran, whether you're a non-combat veteran, whether you served during wartime or peacetime, you're still a veteran. Do not put down somebody else's service because they didn't serve during a combat situation or wartime situation. Don't be. You're still veterans, regardless of what branch. Air
You know
Force
what?
chair,
Even if you are a combat veteran, you can't do your job without the non-combat guys. You
right?
can't do your job without supply, without ammo, without fuel, without food, without the clothes on your back.
Yeah,
Nut up, be a friggin' man or a woman, thank them for their friggin' service, give them a hand up, help them out instead of being a douche.
yeah, yeah. And it just drives me bonkers that one veteran would tell another veteran to unalive himself. I don't care how bad the situation is.
And we wonder why we have an issue within the veteran community.
Right, right. The toxicity needs to be gone.
All these people out there on their friggin' keyboards typing stuff. Come say it to my face, please.
Yeah.
I'll give you my address.
Same. Come say it to my face. I dare you, and I will buck up, knuckle up, and handle it right there. I don't care how big you are. Come say it to my face. So
Everybody's same size. You kick him in the dick.
amen, amen, amen. All right, Gunny. Unfortunately, it is that time. So tomorrow, who do we got coming on tomorrow? We have November 24th. We have Veterans on Duty. All right, so this nonprofit here is going to be, it's going to blow your doors off. It's a great nonprofit. I'm not even going to tell you anything about it, but other than you need to tune in and watch, because their mission is on point. You just got to tune in and chat tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. We will be live again here on all the platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, 2 YouTube channels, also TikTok over here on this screen here. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. So Gunny, let's do it, brother.
Yeah, man. You're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. No matter what anybody is saying out there on social media, you still have worth.
Yeah.
You still have value. A crinkled dollar that's been stuck in a stripper's G-string is still worth a friggin' dollar at the end of the day.
Yeah. Especially if it's at the Driftwood.
With Toby's.
Oh.
You know, you don't have to fight this alone. Surround yourself with people that are going to build you up and not tear you down. If they're tearing you down, that's some of that negativity you need to drop that pack. Lighten that load.
Yeah, cut the toxicity. Cut the toxic people for sure. To every veteran who carries unseen scars, know this: you're not alone. The battles within don't have to be fought in silence, because your brothers and sisters still stand beside you. And you know what? I'm just reading that right now after the text message that I got. Bro, I don't feel like that's happening right now in the veteran community.
Nope. Especially on the Tickety Talk. That's one of the most toxic places for veterans.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Right
I'm
now,
better than you. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
At this point, I
just-
beg to differ.
Yeah, I would agree, Gunny. You know, if for a veteran to tell another veteran to unalive themselves,
Or to tell anybody, period.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. All right. Hashtag be someone stranger. Listen, guys, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the one we love the most. It's bugging me. It really is. It's bugging me. So if you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, ask them, say, "Hey, how you doing?" And if they give you the red flags, "I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm living a dream." ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And be ready for that conversation. It could be a 5-minute conversation, could be an 8-hour conversation. You have to be ready for that conversation. And don't try to fix them. Man, don't try to fix them. Just let them talk. Let them vent. You never know. You might save their life. You never know.
Yeah, it takes a village. And if your village is tearing you down, find a new one.
Yeah.
Pick up your phone, pull up your contacts, scroll your contacts, and hit a number. Hit a contact. Dial them up.
Yeah. So it definitely takes a village.
And your voice might save somebody else. You're the one that needs saving, but they might need it as well. And your temporary ease of pain sometimes just transfers that pain to other people.
Yeah.
And then they have to use their village.
Yeah, big shout out to our partners. We have Heroes Media Group, Adam Bird and his team. So go check out heroesmediagroup.com. We got Elite Engraving that did this amazing hat here. We got Military United podcast streams, Reese Across America Radio, which you can find HomeFront SitRep on Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. It's Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. You got sameflagsameoath.com that did our amazing shirt that Uncle Sam is wearing back there, marine it down.
I still need to get off my butt and order mine.
I know, right? I'm still waiting on
I'll do that when we get off. That's what I'll do. When we get off. I'll do that.
You can just go to homefrontsitrep.com, go to merch and click on it, and boom, there you go. You got the shirt. So yeah, go to homefrontsitrep.com, which is on the bottom of the screen right now, and you can check out all these great nonprofits, veteran business owners, veteran authors, anybody that we've had
all the great guests we've had on the show, period.
Yeah, you can go check it out on homefrontsitrep.com. This December, the end of December, 1st of January, I will be updating to catch it up. So make sure you check back at the beginning of January time frame, and I will have it updated on homefrontsitrep.com. Let's see what else. That's it, my friend.
No.
Oh no. Well, we
Valor pins. We got RDC shoes. We got to give a huge shout out to Miss Julie for making these bodacious freaking shirts. Man, let me tell you, that great fit, great feel.
Yes.
They breathe well, they fit well, and man, doesn't that pop a little?
It does, dude. It does.
That's a heck of a color there.
You got a little bit more light than I do. I guess I don't have the other one on, but
shoot, I've got 6 bulbs up there. I got the ring light in front of me. I got it all.
Yeah, I have the big one up there.
And the computer, and I can't get too close because they'll freaking push a button because it's touchscreen. It adjusts to the light as well. That's why I can't wear a white hat. Because that hat though. At least on my end. Maybe I'll wear some white hats when we do the when we come down and we do the
pre-record. Heck yeah. All right, my friend. It is that time of night. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on 3 Facebook pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, and the TikTok as well. But like we always say on HomeFront SitRep, stay safe out there. We got your six.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.